Alright, hello everyone. Today we're going to be playing Slay Moment by Geo. Now, this level is very Clicksync focused, and it's lower end, but I'd say it's a bit more learny for a lower end level, despite, Clicksync generally being like some of the more easier levels, just because of the way the gameplay is structured. But honestly, I'll go through all that with you, so there's not much to worry about. Anyways, I'm going to go into the level and give you guys any tips and tricks I might have. Alright, so the beginning of Slay Moment isn't too hard. It does take a little bit of getting used to, but most of the clicks here are fairly straightforward, so there won't be much for me to say about them. Alright, so after this green orb and holding, you get to the drop, which the first thing I gotta say is make sure you're actually hitting this green size portal at the beginning, or else you can do something like this, where you buffer, and then that happens. Which, funny enough, I'm pretty sure you can do a lot of it mini like this, and it's kind of awkward, but you end up dying anyways, I'm pretty sure, so it's not really worth it doing that. The first real skip, though, is right here. Normally, you're supposed to click both of these yellow orbs like this, but you can skip one of the yellow orbs if you time the green orb right, and just get to the ship portal like that. This green dash orb after the ship part is pretty awkward, because you want to, like, hold it until you get to the max height, and then do, like, a buffer, so that you can actually get past these two spikes. You don't have to click both times for the spikes, you just have to hold. This wave right here is pretty cool. You just have to hit the blue orbs correctly. Make sure to buffer this blue orb in this cube right here, or else you'll die. Besides that, though, the rest of this is pretty straightforward, so there's not much for me to say right here. You can buffer all these black orbs. Just keep that in mind. This ship section right here can be done in 2 clicks, but I'd recommend 3. As you can see there, I did it in 2 clicks, but doing 3 is just more consistent. This wave right here is pretty hard, but it just takes some getting used to. Once you get used to it, it's like you never die here. So these 4 dash orbs right here, on the 3rd dash orb, you kind of want to release right before you get to the green orb, and just buffer the green orb like that, just so you can align yourself correctly for this 2-click swing copter right here. And then right after that swing copter, there is this cube section, which in my opinion is the most single-handedly RNG section of the level. This part just feels like it never gets consistent. It doesn't look too bad right now, but trust me, it gets really annoying. It's probably just because it's inconsistent. This wave section right here looks more difficult than it actually is, but it's only 3 clicks. 2 of them are outlined by the blue orbs is the word I was looking for. One thing I will say about the second half of the drop is that it feels like it click syncs a lot less than the first half. I don't know if that was a design choice, but the level just feels like it click syncs less and less as it goes on. Like the beginning pre-drop has the strongest click sync. The beginning of the drop has all right click sync. The second half of the drop doesn't seem to have too valid of click sync, but the final part just doesn't really have much click sync at all. Anyways, after this short ball section right here, you get to the ship. The click pattern I do is like that. I'm gonna be honest, that click pattern right there syncs pretty well with the song. If you look at my second channel video, you'll actually see my click pattern with the click sync. I always put my completion with the clicks in the description for anyone who wants to just look at that, especially on a level like this where the level's click sync. You'll be able to see that. Just ignore me and my friends talking and saying weird things. This robot right here is another RNG part. I think it might be the second most RNG part. It doesn't look hard right now because we're in slow speed, but these 4 clicks are very inconsistent. Now right here, this is the final part of the drop, this little wave section. It's just learny. It's not actually too hard. If you want to know what to do, you actually have to hit this first blue orb right here, and then kind of release where right here, where you can make this click. But you want to hit this blue orb. And in case you're wondering why I'm going underneath the spikes, if you look at the spike hitbox, the mini wave fits perfectly underneath normal spikes. So that's why I'm going under these hitboxes. But yeah, after you hit this blue orb right here, you want to hit the second blue orb and then just do the same thing. And then just go down as the wave like that. Now right here, this is the post drop. This post drop is entirely dependent on you remembering how to play it from 0. If you play it in layout mode, the gameplay is very simple at this part, but as you can see, your visibility is very limited, so you want to keep that in mind. For some reason, this block right here is the only one that has a hitbox out of everything in the foreground, so keep that in mind. It's gonna be obvious when you actually play the level, but I just thought I'd mention it. And then this last click is pretty evil, but I don't know, the timing itself is really hard, but I don't know why the timing is consistent. It feels like it's nerfed, but it probably actually isn't. Anyways, yeah, that was Slay Moment. If you were to ask me if I recommend this level, I would have to say depends. I feel like I say this with a lot of levels, but this is another level I wouldn't recommend as a hardest. I feel like I'd recommend this level more for somebody who's doing it as a second hardest, or if you're confident timing enough to beat this in a really short amount of time. But besides that, there's not anyone else I'd recommend this to, besides if you like Clicksync levels. Anyways, yeah, that's all I have to say for now.
Yeah, I fluked the last few clicks. Dude, I low-key nut at the end of my completion.
Alright, that was Slay Moments. I beat this level around a year ago, so any opinions I have on it might be outdated from how I felt about the level back then, but this level actually is pretty unique in a lot of its takes on Clicksync gameplay, and it's also one of the nicer 2.2 levels where it doesn't like spam camera effects in your face. I think the gameplay is really well made and it feels very classic, so that's just really fun to see in a newer level. I don't even know if it's newer anymore because like when I beat it, it was like brand new, but nowadays it's probably considered like an older 2.2 level. Anyways, you can tell that the creator of this level had a lot of fun with this project, so I'll always respect that. I'll always respect a level that doesn't take itself too seriously, and this is clearly one of those levels. Anyways, in terms of the gameplay enjoyment, I gave Slay Moment a 6.5 out of 10. I'm pretty sure the reason I gave it this score is because back then I was getting pretty unlucky with the level, because I did fluke the level, but I was dying at stupid places like a lot, and I did encounter like a bunch of inconsistent parts. Honestly, I just died to the same parts over and over, and it was just getting really annoying, especially when I couldn't get far at all. And the moment I did get far, I beat it, so I was like always upset about that, I guess. And if you heard me in the tutorial, I talked about how like the level gets less and less Clicksync as it goes on. If that's by design, I like that, but if it's not by design, I hate that. It's either or, but I didn't mind it too much just because of how low end this Extreme Demon is. Anyways, in terms of the decoration, I gave Slay Moment a 5.5 out of 10. The decoration isn't really too special. I only gave it like a 5 because I actually like the modern decoration. But besides that, there's not really much to look at for the decoration. The ending looked really good. I really liked the way the ending looked, but besides that, the decoration has nothing outstanding in it, but it's also not bad. It just makes do, if that makes sense. Anyways, accounting for both my luck score, which is a 5, and my song enjoyment, which is also a 5, the average score for Slay Moment comes out to 5.5 out of 10, which just means it's average. It's not bad, but it's not outstanding. It obviously could have been better in a lot of places, but it didn't quite hit the mark, but it's also not bad. Anyways, that's all I have to say about Slay Moment. Thank you for watching, and thank you to my members and YouTube subscribers for being with me. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe. It really does help me out, and like the video. Obviously, I gotta say all this YouTuber stuff. Yeah, thank you for watching. Have a good night.